As you create more drawings, you'll find that the first way you draw something is rarely perfect, and some editing is usually necessary. Often these edits won't be too involved and can be done by directly manipulating the object you want with grips and placing them accurately using object snaps. In the drawing here, I have an arced door opening that I want to increase the height of by moving the arc up. To get started, I'll select the arc, and it highlights in blue with 4 square grips. The 3 along the length of the arc will move only that point, thereby changing the shape of the arc, while the floating grip at the arc center point will move the entire arc as is. Additionally, hovering over one grip, like the top one here, will show all grip editing options available. For this point, I can either stretch the point, which will move it like before, or adjust its radius. The endpoints of the arc, on the other hand, allow me to either stretch or lengthen the arc. Since I want to move the arc as is, I'll undo any changes. Click on the center point grip and use dynamic input to move the arc 0,2 units up. I now need to reconnect the vertical lines, so I'll select the left line and use dynamic input to move its top endpoint 2 units up as well. This could be repeated for the right line as well, but this time I want to show you how to use object snaps to accomplish the same goal of connecting the endpoints once again. To start, I'll make sure that the object snap drafting setting is enabled on the status bar. With that done, I'll select the line, click on the top grip, and move it up until I see a green square appear at the end of the arc. This square represents an endpoint snap, and as long as it is showing, will snap any click to that point. To show you what I mean, I'll move along the arc away from the endpoint and click. Even though my cursor was no longer at that point, it still placed it there. This can be frustrating if you're trying to place an object near a snap, but in those situations, it's a simple task to disable the drafting setting for a moment. In addition to helping with grip editing, object snaps can also be used when drawing. For example, if I wanted to add a line from the center of this arc to the midpoint of the bottom line, I can do so without even knowing their coordinates. I'll start by enabling the line command, and then hover over the arc to make its center point appear as a white cross. I'll hover over it so the center snap, a green circle, appears. Click, and move down to finish the line. When I hover over the bottom line, however, only endpoint snaps appear. To make a midpoint snap appear, I could turn the setting on from the drafting flyout. Or if I only wanted to use it for this instance, hold Shift and right-click to bring up the Object Snap Override menu. From here, I'll select Midpoint, and now the only snaps that appear anywhere are triangular midpoint snaps. I'll select the midpoint of the bottom line, and I'm done.